Guitarist Ace Frehley, one of the founding members of the rock group Kiss, has died. He was 74. Known by his onstage persona Space Ace or Spaceman, Frehley captivated audiences with his smoke-filled guitar and elaborate makeup. Kiss built a cult following with hits such as Rock and Roll All Night and I Was Made for Lovin' You. The band was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2014. Ace Frehley died in New Jersey, surrounded by family, following a fall in his studio last month. Got to keep rocking. And we have a long-time Kiss fan, and he's actually a music lecturer at Western Sydney Uni. He joins us now, John Encarnação. John, g'day. First off, for all the youngsters out there who might not have been around when Kiss first started, tell us how big they were and what their style was.
Well, I guess Kiss were a hard rock band. Some people might have thought of them as heavy metal. And they had their peak of popularity in Australia around 79, 80 around that turn of the decade, but they really broke through internationally a few years earlier, 76, 77. Yeah, they formed in 73.
And as a youngster, I hear you were captivated by them.
I was, yes. Look, I've brought this heirloom in. Yeah. It's this is the very record that I saved my pocket money for 4 weeks.
Wow!
When I was 11, to buy at Galleon Records, Fairfield.
Why were you captivated by them when you were 11?
Well, I picked up the guitar when I was 9, and Skyhooks were probably the first thing, or the Beatles, the Monkees, Skyhooks, and I saw Rock and Roll All Night on Sounds Unlimited on Channel 7.
And mentioned 7 while you're on ABC.
Terrible faux pas. But I was just totally taken by the makeup, the music, the rock. I guess for someone my age, they were so exciting with their theatrical presentation, but they were also a rock music that was just simple enough that an aspiring guitarist could cut their teeth by playing along, and that's what I did.
And so when did Ace Frehley join Kiss, and what did he bring to the group?
So Ace was a founding member of Kiss in 1973. Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons were kind of the brains behind the band. They auditioned for a drummer and a lead guitarist, and they took Ace into the band. I think
he was the last to come on board, was he?
He was actually, yeah. I think the thing that people can forget, because Kiss became such a franchise where the parts seemed to be interchangeable and anyone could put the makeup on, but like any great band, there was a chemistry between those original 4 people which really made them special. And Ace Frehley's lead guitar was really the perfect thing for that band. It was flashy enough to seem really impressive, but it actually wasn't that virtuosic. It was melodic. I think people forget that Kiss really modelled themselves, as much as you can see the New York Dolls and Alice Cooper and Rolling Stones and all those things. They actually modelled themselves on the Beatles, because they wanted that sort of group where the 4 members were all well known and instantly recognisable. You have John, Paul, George, and Ringo, and you have Paul, Gene, Ace, and Peter. His solos is they're so melodic, you can sing them, and I think he had that kind of economy to his playing that actually George Harrison did too. They're serving the song. It's not like it's the first part of it. The first most important part of it is a display of technique. There's a little bit of that, but it's more this melodic thing. He got cells of ideas and he repeated them and varied them. He liked to do this 3 against 4 thing, which is very one of his trademarks. Yeah.
And so did he write any of the songs?
He did write. Yep. I mean, just like George Harrison and the Beatles, they allowed him a song or 2 per album. So Paul and Gene got, 40% each, and then Peter and Ace got a song or so each record. Yeah.
And so what did you think of his songwriting abilities?
Oh, he wrote some crackers.
Yeah.
Parasite, Cold Gin, are real staples of the early Kiss repertoire. On the record I just showed you, there's a great deep cut called Strange Ways. Yeah, he wrote some good ones for the band, yeah.
And was he the first band member to leave to try his luck on his own?
He wasn't actually. The first to leave was Peter Criss, the drummer.
Right.
He left about 1980, and Ace followed suit 2 years later. The thing is that Paul and Gene were the serious people. They were the business people, the masterminds. They wrote most of the material too. But Ace and Peter were rock and roll party animals. And they got into trouble, you know.
Right.
And they, you know, part of the reason they parted ways with Kiss was not so much that they wanted to try to have solo careers. It was more that Paul and Gene couldn't put up with their shenanigans.
Right,
That's the truth.
And tonight we should remember that Ace was a real talent in his own right.
I think he was, yeah. I think, and he's inspired so many guitarists and rock musicians, you know.
Yeah. Okay, John, thanks so much for coming in, and it's been great to have a chat to you about Ace Frehley.
Thanks for having me in, Joe.